do a live thing too.
Everybody ready?
Good.
Everybody?
Okay.
Okay, unfortunately, 9 days later, we're here again. We have another tragedy in our community where two people were murdered and a man committed suicide. We got a call about 12:56 this afternoon from the mother, the wife. She was at work in Tulsa, I believe. She reported that her husband had made comments on the phone that he was going to kill their children and then himself, and so she called us. We showed up out here immediately and started to try to make phone calls and get a hold of him by phone, because when a gun's involved, we don't want to just go knock on the door. So at that point, we weren't making any contact with anybody. We pinged the girls' phones. We had their phone numbers and we pinged them. Weren't able to get a hold of anybody. So we then had the mother come to the scene with the key to the house and made entry. Again, no contact with anybody. So we went ahead and went inside and searched, and we found two teenage females who were deceased and a male, we believe the father was deceased. And, we can tell you that a handgun was involved in this incident. And that's kind of where we're at. We're waiting on a warrant so that we can go in and do our crime scene preparation and doing it the same way we did it last time, where the OSBI is going to come in and assist us, and then we'll go from there. It did. It did start as a welfare check. The wife was concerned that her husband made statements that he was going to harm the children, and so he had never made statements like this before. So she was concerned enough to call us from work to come check.
These are two teenage girls that since from high school.
I don't have that information. I don't know.
And they were his.
They were his children. Yeah.
OSBI is investigating, assisting.
They are assisting us with the crime scene itself. They come in with their machines and they measure the crime scene for us and take photographs and do the diagrams and those kind of things. And we do all of the interviews with family members and neighbors and victims and those kind of things.
Any history of violence with him?
We've had one domestic violence call here in 2017, but we don't know if they lived here. We don't know if it was related to this address. That's all the information I have. I don't know if it was them specifically.
Todd, this is the second murder suicide call for you guys in 10 days. Same neighborhood. I mean, what can you say?
It's horrifying. We're a resilient community. We're going to get through this, just like we're working our way getting through the Ross issue. I would just reiterate that if you have issues in your family, or of people who have issues in their family unit, say something. Don't just hide it, and check on your friends, check on your neighbors. Don't let it get to this point. If somebody has to go to jail, so be it. At least they're still alive, right? People aren't dead. So if you see something, something, say something, so we can try to help get people the help that they need, or get them away from each other, get them some other resources so they don't have to live in violence.
Talk about your officers. They've also had to investigate both of these horrific crime scenes. How are they doing it? And what does this mean for your department?
It's kind of on the one hand, luckily it's an entirely different group than was here on that Saturday afternoon. On the other hand, now we have 6 additional officers who have to deal with this tragedy. a tragedy like this. We have the resources to help us get through it, and we will. We're resilient. This is what we do for a living. It's unfortunately the worst part of our job, but it's something that we're trained and well aware of that we may have to deal with.
Any communication yet with this mother?
We-
How's she doing?
We're interviewing her now, so obviously it's devastating to her, we'll help her get through this as best we can.
No reason why, no explanation of.
She indicated that they were having marital issues, but that had been going on for a while. But they're both still living in the home, so that's why I would reiterate if there's even if there's not violence, because there may not be a huge history of violence here, but even if there's not, you still need to let somebody know, and you still need to be cautious about how you seek help for these things. Don't just blow it under the rug and say this is a family issue, we'll handle it within the family. Well, obviously it doesn't always work. So you gotta say something, you gotta get help, talk to a friend, a pastor, a counselor, somebody. But don't let things get this far.
Inside the home where they were found, all together.
They were all found in different parts of the house. Yeah. But until we get done with the crime scene, we're not gonna say.
I wasn't here last time, but how far approximately is this from the
Less than a mile. Yeah. Less than a mile.
What led y'all here?
Do what?
What made y'all come here?
The mother called.
And then what
The mother was at work and called and said that the father, they were on the phone together, had made a threat to kill his kids and then himself. So she called us, and once she got here, we got some more information that while she was on the phone with him, she actually heard what she thought was a gunshot, and he made some comment, "How do you like that?" And so once we heard that information, then we went in.
You know Ouija at all?
No, I do not. I know they're both teenagers, but I don't know
You
ages.
don't know how old he is.
Huh?
You don't know how old he is.
No.
no other children or anyone else? in the family?
Not that I'm aware of. You guys good?
Appreciate it.
Okay. Go get